welcome back. Today I have for you a foam rolling and release for your upper body. So for shoulders and neck, a little bit of the thoracic spine, which is the middle edge of the spine, into the upper back, into the base of the skull, and out into the shoulders. All you'll need for the class is a foam roller. I have two different sizes. I have a smaller one that I use for typically smaller muscles, and then a nice big one. This is obviously the preferred one because we'll be doing one that involves lying along the spine. If you have a smaller foam roller though, this is all that you have at home, that's okay. What you can do is you can grab a couple yoga blocks to place at the bottom and the top of the foam roller when we do the one that's lying across it, or you can use like pillows at the bottom to support the hip so you're level with the bolster or with the foam roller itself. So if you have either one, that'll work. Preferred a larger one, but it's okay if you have a shorter one. But I'm gonna use this big guy today. It's a little bit easier for what I'll be showing you. So just have those ready to go, and we'll start in a comfortable seat. Now, if you would prefer to sit on your shins, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, you can also try taking a cross-legged position. And we'll just start with some movement into the neck and the shoulders to start to find a little bit of stretching before we find our active release with our foam roller. So as you find your seat, just ground down, start to lengthen out through the spine, let the shoulders just drop away from the ears. Maybe take a moment, close your eyes, and just kind of observe where your shoulders are resting in space. There is a tendency to, kind of hold them high in stressful times, so maybe notice if they're lifting and drifting up to the ears, or maybe you're allowed to gently start them down the spine and start to get that little bit of length to the back of the neck. Let the hands just stretch on the thighs. Take a big breath, let the spine lengthen, and it's almost like there's a cord pulling your crown to the ceiling. And then as you exhale the next breath out, just drop the chin to the chest. And start to notice this little bit of length at the back of the cervical spine, at the back of the neck. And then just start to breathe here. See, just let the head get heavy and see if you can let the weight do the work for you. Maybe a little energetic drawing back of the shoulders to really find this opening on the sides of the skull, sides of the neck. Take a nice big breath in here, and then as you exhale, slowly take your right ear to your right shoulder. And again, it's all just about the weight of the head doing the work for you. So try not to, kind of pull the ear over to the shoulder, but instead just allowing it to drift in that direction. And if you want, you can take your right hand to the outside, that left side of the skull of the head. And again, we're not pulling down, we're just letting weight assist you in your stretch. And if you want, you can extend out through your left arm and just start to find this nice long line on the outer edge of the neck into the top edge of the shoulder. Here you can, play around too with the placement of the hand. You can start to turn it up to the sky, take it a little bit deeper into the front of the neck, or maybe turn it down, let the pinky start to pull forward, the thumb starts to pull back, looking for some more movement into the back of the neck. And feel free to play with it too, like the positioning of the arm, where it is in space, can change the sensation that you feel. So just close your eyes and just explore a little bit. You can even take a little forward and back rock of the head, a little baby yes. And just kind of looking for a spot that feels really good. Starting to breathe into that. Again, softening into the shoulders. Soften the jaw, the eyes, the forehead, the space in between the brow. Good, now let's gently release the hands back down. Take a breath in, and then exhale, chin drops back down to the chest. And again, just let the head hang heavy for a moment, breathing into the back of the neck. A little energetic drawing back of the shoulders. Find an inhale here, and then as you exhale, left ear meets left shoulder, switching sides. And initially just kind of, saying hello to the stretch, not adding anything right away, but just letting the weight of the head drop off to the left side. If you want an additional weight, you can take the left hand to the right side of the skull. Again, we're not pulling down, we're just letting the additional weight help you find a little more of a stretch. If you want to reach out for your right arm, you're more than welcome to do that. Again, maybe exploring a little bit with the palm, moving it in different directions and observing how that changes the sensation and the stretch. Maybe one position feels really good. You can even add a little nod of the head forward and back, just kind of looking for one spot that feels really good and breathing into that. Soften the jaw, the face. Yeah, take a breath. And then release the hands, release the chin back down to the chest. Invitation here if you want. Grab opposite elbows behind the back, maybe even interlacing the fingers, and just really actively draw the shoulder blades back as you let the chin fall deeper to the chest. And the next inhale, slowly lift the head. And then let's find a tabletop position for a little bit of movement into the spine before we take it to our foam roller. So as you find your way into your all fours, your wrists are beneath your shoulders, your knees are beneath your hips. Take an inhale, drop the belly down, find a cow pose, or to draw the shoulder blades back, lift the gaze. Exhale, round and release, tuck the chin to the chest for a cat pose. And just find a few movements like that and allow this to be the stretches to start to find some mobility into the rest of the spine. Letting the back of the heart get involved, moving into the thoracic spine, creating space for the diaphragm, even the low back, the tailbone, finding some nice movement. If you want to take a moment to maybe practice some unwinding here, you can start to allow your body to create different shapes from your tabletop. So maybe your cat-cow starts to evolve a little bit and transform, making some mid-torso rotations if that feels good. You can take some big circles with the hips back to the heels, start to create some movement into the waist. Just making sure whatever you do in one direction, always doing the same thing in the opposite to make it nice and even. And don't worry about what it looks like. There's no right and no wrong here. It's mainly just about moving with the breath and allowing yourself to just create sensation, right? Create stretching and movement into those areas that feel stuck and stagnant and sticky. Very nice. Take a few more rounds of whatever you're doing. And again, let it be nice and even. And then when you're ready, we're going to find our way onto our foam roller, and we're going to start lying on it so it's along the spine. So just carefully position yourself sitting on the one edge and then slowly lying back. So it's just framing the edge of the spine. Plant the feet maybe a little bit wider. That way you can have a nice base, and you can always just let the knees stay tracking over the ankles. And then just let the arms float out to either side as the palms are up. Take a moment, close your eyes, and just allow the body to surrender into the support beneath you, into your foam roller. And it's natural to have a little bit of space between your low back and the foam roller beneath you. That's just the natural curve of your lumbar spine. So don't feel like you need to press that down right now, but instead just allowing the body to get heavy and just allowing the spine to have that natural shape. Yeah. And then as you lay here, so again, the feet are wide to support you. Just start to rock a little bit right to left. Let the arms hang heavy, and you'll notice as you rock to one side, the foam roller will begin to create pressure along that medial border of your shoulder blade. It should feel really nice. You can always even hold in one area and maybe see if you can roll a little bit further off to that side and start to get that nice massage. Whew. And a little note, especially if you're new to foam rolling, it may be intense at first, right? And you may have a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of pain, but we never want to have discomfort or pain where you can feel the body resisting you in a way that isn't natural. So if you're having pain that feels like it's too much, then back off a little bit and just don't go so deep. Maybe don't roll so far to one side. And just kind of taking the movement slowly so that you can continue to find your breath, and then just staying aware of the sensation you're experiencing. If you want to deepen it a little bit, you can try taking a cactus arm, and then you'll get a little deeper into the front pecs as well as a little bit deeper into that medial border of the scapula, the back body. Yeah. Oh yeah, it should feel nice. So another thing too, like if we're doing this and it feels really good, whatever we're doing, and you want to hang in, continue doing that for a little bit, feel free to pause the video and just take it for as long as you'd like. Not trying to overdo it either, so I feel like a really nice, spot to stay in is anywhere between, a minute or a couple minutes with each position and each stretch. And then you can always repeat them, but just not overdoing it. Okay, now come back to just that nice neutral position. Keep your arms in your cactus. And on your inhale, just start to reach your arms back and up. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows and then draw them down and towards the sides. And then just a few like this, just working in this plane, reaching up and back. And then exhale, drawing it down and in. And just with your own breath, inhale. And exhale. Yeah, a few more times like that. Close the eyes. Breathing into what you're experiencing. Good, and then from here, start to reach your arms into the sky. We're gonna do a little protraction, retraction. So on your inhale, reach your fingertips up and feel the shoulder blades peel away off of the foam roller. And then as you exhale, draw the shoulder blades down and then press a little bit at the bottom. Yeah, inhale, reach. And then exhale, retract. Draw them back and down. Give that little press at the bottom. Now see if here, can you move control? So this is a little PT move. And this just helps to start to get a little bit of range of motion into our rotator cuff and all the little muscles inside there. So even though we might be having tension, what feels like on the surface of the upper back, sometimes it can, really come from that internal shoulder girdle and then just send that sensation into the spine or into the superficial muscles, when really our problem might be just a tension happening within the shoulder blades, especially if you do a lot of yoga, a lot of chaturangas. Good, take one more like this. Good. And then from here, let the shoulders place back down your foam roller. And then you're gonna take one arm down and one arm up. Doesn't matter which one. And then we're just gonna scissor the arms side to side. And again, allowing that medial border, so the inside border of your shoulder blade, to stay glued on the foam roller. And then the active movements of the arms forward and back will create this nice massage. So this is like we're calling an active release. As you move, you're isolating certain points on your foam roller, creating compression and then stretching in opposite directions. Again, continue to allow the jaw, the face, the eyes to stay relaxed. The head is nice and heavy. Let's take a few more like that. Depending on your range of motion, you can even try and take your hands all the way down to the mat if that feels good. Good, last two, one on each side. Very nice. And then just release the arms back out long into that T shape. Let the palms turn up. Really big breath into the back body. Exhale, let it go. Now plant your palms, slowly press up. And we're gonna find our off our foam roller and then just switch the direction. So now we're gonna put it lengthwise and we're gonna start rolling on it. And then as you plant the feet back down, make sure the feet are hip distance, knees are hip distance, and then just lie back on your foam roller. I keep wanting to call it a bolster. All right, from here, interlace your fingers, bring down the base of the skull to support the head of the neck. Tuck the tailbone and then lift the hips off of the earth. So our hips are hovering. The belly is drawing in the entire time to support your low back in this position. And then you're just gonna start to roll up and down along the spine. And you can take it all the way down to, just above the hips, not quite into the low back because it's a little bit too much for the low back, but you can definitely get the thoracic spine, so the mid back, along with the upper back. And you can draw the shoulder blades or the elbows in, take it all the way up to the base of the shoulders and get all the way in the shoulder blades. It should feel really nice. You can take little tiny rocks forward and back. You can take big ones from, you know, the base of the thoracic spine all the way to the tops of the shoulders. Yeah, and just breathing here. Remember, keep the gentle engagement of the navel. Should feel really good. Again, it's okay if it feels kind of intense, right? Especially if you're new to foam rolling. But feel free to let yourself explore a little bit. You might even find some spots that feel really good. And you want to take a little rock there, especially along the space in between the shoulder blades. Good. And then from here, we'll sit the butt back down, widen out through the elbows. Make sure, you know, we have the block, or the foam roller is right beneath our shoulder blades. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, just take a little twist to the left. Start to rock the body with you. Inhale through neutral, exhale, take it right. So just a little baby rock to start to get into those lats. Nothing too big. Keep the feet planted, keep the belly drawing in. And let's get a little bit of the internal shoulder going on. So we're gonna roll all the way towards the right hand side. And then you're gonna position your foam roller so it's right in the, pretty much the armpit crease, for lack of a better term. Create a little soffist with your hand, and then just take the soffist in between your right ear, your right base of the skull, and your right shoulder. Let your palm turn towards the base of the skull. And then you're just gonna start to reach the arm down to the mat, and then rebend the elbow, drawing the hand back towards the head. So it's kind of creating this little, you know, movement towards the mat up, starting to get into that internal shoulder. Yeah. And then come into like a halfway point. So you're almost at like a 90 with the elbow, and then take a little rock forward and back. Again, supporting the head with the soft fist and that left palm. Remember to breathe. Good, and then we're gonna rock all the way back. So you're almost like hitting that edge of the shoulder blade. Turn the palm again towards the skull, and then create a little karate chop movement forward and back. Yeah, and again, just resting onto that support. Let your body stay nice and heavy and grounded. Yeah. And then maybe see if you can take your palm, reach it as far back as you can. Lean back a little bit more, and just a little teeny tiny rock forward and back, just to really hit that internal section right there. So this is the lateral border of the shoulder blade. There are a lot of muscles from the internal shoulder that attach here. Nice. Take a breath in. And then from here, slowly press up. And then we're going to switch sides. So I'm just going to move to the other side so you can see me a little better. Just roll onto your back and then roll over to the left side. And then again, positioning your foam roller right at the armpit crease. Create a soft fist with your right hand, and just let it rest in between the shoulder and the skull to support the neck. Bend the elbow, turn the palm towards the crown of the head, and just let it come forward and down, up and down, moving into that shoulder. Can you allow your body weight to surrender here so that you can get that full release using that body weight as the way to drop you in. Now find a little 90-degree angle in your arm, and then take a little forward and back rock along the foam roller, and just start to notice how different that feels. Also maybe from one side to the other. We're always gonna have one shoulder that's, you know, a little bit tighter. Very nice. And then rock a little bit back so you'll know when you hit it because it feels kind of intense. Keep the palm facing towards the crown and take a little karate chop forward and back. Now this is definitely going to be one of the more intense ones, so it's okay if it feels a little aggressive, but just knowing the point if it's too much and feeling free to back off at any point. And I promise as you do these things more often, it'll feel better. Good. Now and then just take the hand back as far as you can. Lean back a little bit more. Find that spot that feels a little fiery and then take a little BB rock forward and back just for a moment. Breathe in. Good. Exhale. From here, we're going to roll back onto our backs. We're going to keep the hips grounded though and just do a little bit of mobilization into the thoracic spine. So on your inhale, reach your arms forward. And then start to just kind of tuck the chin to the chest a little bit. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, lean back and reach the arms back with you. Inhale, reach up. Extend the fingertips forward. Exhale, lean back. Good. A few more like that. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale, maybe lean back a little bit more. Last one. Exhale. Good. Again, bring the fingertips behind the skull just one more time. Draw the elbows in, curl the tailbone, lift it up, and take a little bit of that spinal roll one more time, forward and back. Oh, Hayden. Hayden want to make an appearance. And then we're going to lay all the way down and then just position the base of the skull on the foam roller. From here, you can keep your knees bent, let the feet float wide, and then grabbing onto the sides of the foam roller so it doesn't move too much. Let the shoulders get heavy, and then just take the head side to side. This is my favorite part. And you can kind of, start at the top of the shoulders, the back of the neck, and then let the foam roller kind of roll back a little bit. Start to take it a little further up the neck to the base of the skull. Rocking the head side to side, not too fast, but, getting a little bit of that movement, increasing that range of motion. And again, as you're here, you might find one spot that feels really good. You can always hold there for a moment. Just let the head get heavy into the foam roller. Find that nice compression. And then maybe slowly find a few spots along the base of the skull. Good, and then whenever you're ready, just releasing the foam roller back, draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a nice big hug. Thank yourself for taking the time to show the body some love. And again, feel free, you can return to any of these that felt really good in your body. Maybe, even up to 90 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever feels good to you. Repeating as much as you need to and as often as you can to give yourself that release. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, your evening, and I'll see you soon.